So now back to this thing here. A great selection of songs. Obviously, again, Parasite. It was like 100,000 Years was my personally. I think it's a great Kiss track, and it was definitely good choice.
Let me ask you: is there any song on Kiss Alive that you prefer to the studio version? Look through them.
Well, honestly, they always deliver in a very similar quality of the studio versions. Of course, Paul will do his like kind of shit here and there.
Yeah.
Like,
Between
shut the
songs.
fuck up, man.
Yeah.
That'll be kind of annoying. But
People.
it's I really couldn't. I mean, we'll be here all night long discussing what is it that I don't like.
And this is going to be in different part.
What I could tell you, rather than to go into a battle of wits and trying to convince Ralph why I don't like certain songs, I think it's best that we probably say, well, these are the ones I like. It's best to think in terms of the glass being half full, not half empty, because then I wouldn't be a Kiss fan.
Yeah, I won't slam you for songs you don't like. I mean, it's Oopsie doodle. That's I have a little alarm on my clock. It says it's time for me to take my cat tranquilizers. But I don't want to be on my cat. I want to be psychotic. So I'm not going to take my cat tranquilizers till we're done. Anyway, in my opinion, since you never watch my reviews, Kiss Alive, all the versions on Kiss Alive totally destroy the studio version so badly. It's like, fuck the studio versions compared to the Kiss Alive versions. Even though I love the studio versions, I prefer every song on Kiss Alive over the studio version.
Oh, they were tweaked though. You gotta think of that too. There were
Not really, just a couple little notes here and there. All the drums on this album, live. All of it. Peter Criss did not redo anything. There are a couple vocal dropouts that they enhanced, a couple riffs here and there, but it's widely exaggerated that this is not 100%, this is not a live album. This is, I'd say it's about an 85% live album. They just touched up a couple little things here and there on the live, unlike the other live albums that are extremely touched up.
Destroyer,
the album, the studio album they did with Bob Ezrin.
Yep.
What's your thoughts on this one?
I can tell you one thing. Even though they tend always to be having pictures of themselves in some way, shape, or form, I gotta say that when I saw this, I was like, dude, this gotta be better than the rest of it. It emanated this vibe of more like they're on your face in this record. Okay, yeah. They really are. Now, the all-time classic, God of Thunder, happens to be on this magnificent recording. Shout It Out Loud. It's another big-time favorite of mine.
How about Detroit Rock City?
You know what? This version I'm not too keen of because of the following reason. If you remember, there was a German pressing of a compilation called Kiss Killers.
Kiss Killers, which I have on CD.
Boom. I had it around one time. But anyhow, on that mix from that compilation, they had an extended car crash.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I gotta listen to that again.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
And is not on this one, which henceforth, once I heard the German pressing of the Kiss Killer, I was like, holy crap, this sounds much better. Of course, they had tweaked it a little bit for the compilation, but the car crash added such an immensity of the feeling. You know, you're actually hauling ass, driving your Ford or whatever the hell they make in Detroit, and you eat it at the end.
That's awesome. You see, now I'm glad I did this show with you because I would have never known that. Because now that I think about it, now that you say that, it must mean that when I put on Kiss Killers, I never bothered with the songs I never heard before. I just listened to I'm a Legend Tonight, Nowhere to Hide, whatever the other two songs are.
Yeah, it's another thing. This may be redundant to the topic in itself. Is those of you who have the Kiss Killers compilation in cassette or record or whichever may have noticed that the logo didn't have the lightning bolt.
Would you mind explaining why? 'Cause
Yes.
I know why. I think I already explained this on one of my reviews, but go ahead, tell
Yeah,
them.
well, basically what it was is that, They were worried about the whole Nazi thing because, you know, they looked like the SS rooms, you know, the whole German crap thing. And they decided in order to appeal to the German market, they were going to make it like these. And it's really stupid. But, I mean, coming from two Jewish guys that, you know, putting out records constantly throughout the years, the lightning bolts on there, I think that was a dumb move. But they were not sure. They were trying to press their product out there, and, you know.
And did you know that when Kiss played live over there, the big Kiss behind them was the same way? It wasn't the lightning bolts.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, they did that too. So, all right. So Destroyer, Destroyer, you love it?
I like 50% of that album.
Okay, so we're gonna go into Rock and Roll Over. What's your opinion on this one?
This, my friend, is probably my less liked of Kiss's discography.
Interesting you say that.
It really is. Now, 2 songs. I Want You was a great song. Calling Dr. Love, it's cool, but it's still kind of poppy. You know, like, the choruses really are annoying to me. Now, oddly enough, even though I'm very impartial to liking like ballads and love songs and shit like that, Hard Luck Woman, it's got some excellent qualities on there. I couldn't tell you why, but it's got like a good sad feeling to it. It really is. But other than that, I mean, fantastic work on this. You know, and again, this is the power of graphic design. The cover is what made me buy the record. Now, when I heard it, it flew out of my collection within a year. I don't even know where it may be these days.
That's interesting because this right here is my all-time favorite Kiss studio album. I don't think you know.
Well, you have the clock on your wall.
I have the clock on my wall.
And a shirt.
And I have a shirt. This is the best Kiss studio in my opinion, but I will agree with you on Hard Luck Woman. Hard Luck Woman is to me the greatest Kiss ballad ever written. I love this album, but you already know my opinion on it, and it's his least favorite. Not everybody can be as smart as me. What do you think of this one?
Yes. Fantastic Love Gun. Okay.
While you talk about it, let me just show the people out there.
Okay, so Almost Human, dude. That is.
Check it out, man. I got the Love Gun unused, and also it brought an order form. I got a real 70s original Kiss thing, and yes, to me, Almost Human is the hidden gem on this one. A great fucking song. Perhaps, I don't know, I gotta see my review again, but I believe I did say Almost Human was my favorite track off this album. Though I love I Stole Your Love and Love Gun fucking kicks ass. Oh, and Shock Me. Those are my standout tracks on this one. But go ahead. I mean, they already know that.
Yeah. No, I'm sure you guys know the story about the Plaster Caster thing, right? Ever talk about that?
Yeah, I did discuss it on my review.
Oh, okay, so that's old news.
Yeah. If you were to judge all the Kiss albums so far we reviewed, what's your favorite one? Because now we're leaving. This is it. We're done with the original Kiss. Yes, Dynasty is not the original Kiss. It's not Peter Criss. He's not on that album. I don't know if you know this. See, he didn't know that Peter Criss wasn't on Dynasty. So you know, now you know what we're dealing with here. This is not a fucking nerd. It's not a nerd like us. He didn't know that. So that's why it's good to have his point of view. He's a Kiss fan, but not a Kiss nerd like us.
You guys been upgraded in my list.
Durr. All right, so then we go to Kiss Alive 2, which, before you say anything, I will just say to you that you are a 100% retarded fool if you don't think this is the coolest picture ever taken of Kiss. Tell me, is that the coolest Kiss picture ever or what?
The original Kiss releases, like I said before, they always deliver a fantastic, you know, visual effect to it. Something
I got the book too with it.
I mean, it really made you want to hold it. I mean, with the exception of anything, as the 80s wore on, they simplified their approach for whatever reason. You know, their popularity had indeed died out of the US big time. But
I have the tattoos as well, by the way. I just can't find them at the moment. They're in here somewhere.
Yeah. Kiss Alive too. I gotta say one thing though, that even though he's justified that the technicality issue with, hey, we need to put in this level here, a little bit higher, lower, what have you. I never truly been a big fan of live albums. For some reason, I am much more partial to bootlegs because they capture the raw essence. There's no need to prettify, if that word exists. Probably doesn't. But you know what I'm trying to say to you. This album, yes, they were still at the height of their career and do everything else. Great songs. Love Gun, Making Love's a great song. Actually, I really love that version on it right there. There's 3 or 4 songs, again, that Call on Dr. Love, God of Thunder again.
All right, well, forget about.
I Want You. Okay, I love I Want You. It's a great song.
Really, let's not really discuss the live songs on here. Let's discuss side 4, which is all new studio tracks. Do you know All American Man?
I don't like that song.
You didn't like that one. How about Larger Than Life?
Don't like it.
Rockin' in the USA?
Don't like it.
Rocket Ride?
No, it's too poppy. I like it.
Okay, so.
That's when you make your own compilations of the shit you like. Back in the day, of course, it was a typical 90-minute tape, and you would make your own compilations of all the songs you like. But still, even with songs that I personally wouldn't like, the fact is that in the end, you end up with so much kick-ass material out of the entire discography. And overall, they pick and choose what you like. Again, they cater to different people. The ones that like the love songs and the poppy ones, and the guys that like the heavier kind of thing, they aim to a massive audience. They didn't pigeonhole themselves from a standpoint of selling the product of their effort.
All right, let me just say that his opinion on side 4 of Kiss Alive 2, I know you all are going to be saying, he's wrong because of blah, 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 and leaving all these hateful comments toward him because he doesn't like Rocket Ride, because he doesn't like Larger Than Life, because he doesn't like All American Man. You're all going to start bashing him. And let me tell you something. Everybody that bashes this guy about the songs he doesn't like, I agree with all of you. Thank you. Next one. Signed, by the way. See?
Yeah, Rocket
You see that?
Yeah.
Signed by just Gene and Paul, not Ace and Peter. I never met Peter Criss. I met Ace. All right, so what's your opinion on Double Platinum, which is, by the way, the very first Kiss album I ever owned?
I had that on vinyl as well many years ago.
What do you think of Strutter 78 compared to the original Strutter?
Well, Strutter wasn't really one of my strong points.
Oh, okay. So
it doesn't really matter whether.
I just so you know, Strutter 78 for me is way better than the original. I just love it much more. And there's a lot of songs on here that are remixed.
Yeah, it is a compilation of a lot of what they considered, people like the most. Again, product placement. Hey, this is what they like.
I think Hard Luck Woman is much better on this. The drums come in later, and so it's much more beautiful than. But I love the rock and roll.
Again, with the packaging, you can feel the engraving pretty much. If you want to use that word of the.
And I did talk about this. I did talk about this in the original one. In the inside, their faces are embroidered on it. And when I was a kid, I put paper on it, and I rubbed it over and took off the makeup to see what they really looked like. And they ended up all looking like Gumby. And yeah, check it out. And I have the Golden Platinum Award that comes in it. This one actually is one I did not buy recently. This is the original one I owned as a little kid from the 70s. I still own it. This is one of the rare ones I did not give away to people. All the other ones that I've already shown you, with the exception of Destroyer, I've given away to everybody. So Destroyer and I'll tell you the ones I still have from the original. Destroyer, Double Platinum, and Ace Frehley solo album, which, funny enough, I bought it again because I had the Ace Frehley solo album, but I gave away the actual vinyl because this girl broke her friend's copy and needed a vinyl. I didn't know the girl, but he did. And he said, "Hey man, you remember that? Do you remember that? One of your friends, she was a girl, she borrowed Ace Frehley's solo album from somebody, and she broke it. And then you said, hey man, you have the Ace Frehley? I go, yeah, I have it. I already have it on CD too, so I'll keep the cover and I'll give her the album. You don't remember that?
I don't.
It's actually
Good memory on that one.
that's actually
must have been a long time ago.
So I've had the Ace Frehley solo album without the vinyl forever, which I just recently bought. All 4 solo albums with the poster and order forms, all 4 on eBay for a pretty penny, but actually not as expensive as you would think. So let's go into the solo album.
Oh, here we go.